Mikel?
Mr. Chain?
Mikel?
BMW.
What? Mikel?
You've got the address?
No.
Pro Drum.
Pro fun.
What is this?
I like fun.
No.
I love music.
Okay, sorry, but it's.
Woo!
Dude, seriously? Come
You don't
on.
like music?
No, not that loud.
You don't like music?
No, I'm a drummer. I don't like it this loud.
You're a drummer.
I'm a drummer, yeah. Can you
Oh.
turn the music down, please?
I'm a drummer.
You're a drummer?
Yeah.
Listening to your music like. Do I know you? What's your name? Have you picked me up before?
Maybe.
Dude! Thomas! Come on!
Ta-da!
What's going on?
How's my hair? Come on, sit with me in the front, man.
So what music have you got?
Oh, I have all music.
So we need a song
Okay.
that was influential for you. So,
You're in the car with Mr. Lang, my friends. We got Sirius
So it was
in here.
level 42?
I have everything. This is Hits 1. I have like 400 radio stations in here.
But we got to find the music that you...
Okay, I'll tell you what I like to listen to when I'm in the car,
Yeah.
okay? I like to listen to 70s on 7. Woo! Rod, man! Hot legs! Woo! You think I'm sexy?
No!
I think I'm sexy. There we go. There you go. It's disco and it rocks. So that's what I listen to in the car. I listen to 70s on 7.
Okay.
I listen to some 80s music. So, you know why I like the 70s
No, come on.
music? Because there's no sequencers.
500 feet, turn left onto West Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Thank you, Carla.
And there's no sequencing, there's no sound replacement, there's no digitizing, there's no beat detective, and none of that bullshit. It's all handmade stuff. It's performances of real people.
So which
And I love
artists
that.
were your favourite in the 70s?
Turn left.
All artists.
Really?
Yeah, I like it all. You know, the songwriting was amazing. The performances of the musicians were amazing because they're all real. You can hear, rooms. You can hear what kind of drums people used, what kind of cymbals they used. You can hear exactly the nuance of how loud somebody hit a drum, and it's just full of nuance and human spirit and performances. I love that. It's.
And what about the 80s? What did you like in the 80s?
I did like the songwriting in the 80s. And get out of the way here.
Can you multitask? This is the problem
Yes.
with BMW drivers, by the way.
Oh, shut up.
This is why I don't like BMW drivers.
What do you
all these
drive?
cameras.
What do you drive?
Ah, that's a secret.
You have I think it's a Fiat Pinto? No, yours was a Toyota Corolla. Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, let's go back to the 80s. So,
Okay, you know what I like about the 80s?
Yes.
The experimentation phase, all the new synthesizers and drum machines. I like some of the experimenting. A lot of it is really daft and sort of very childish experimentation in the early days with all that equipment. But the songwriting was still good. I mean, they composed songs with great parts and sections and had arrangements in mind. They didn't let the machines take over so much at the time. They were still thinking about playing music, and later it turned into, well, let's turn on the machine and press the buttons and see what happens, and maybe there's a part that we like, we'll use that, and then we'll try and let the machine create another part. It became too much about the gear,
What about-
But in the early 80s, there were some cool moments happening with this is a really shitty crossing
don't worry, I'm
here.
going to say thank you to this person. Now, that's a cool car.
Yeah,
There's an
there we go,
Audi.
dude.
The Audi drivers. They're letting us go. It's a Toyota, though.
Okay.
Well, what kind of music do you like at the moment? What's the last record you bought, or CD, or download,
Oh,
or
I
whatever
bought-
you do?
Taylor Swift, probably.
Ah, okay.
And Thundercat. And what else did I buy the other day?
Okay, new bands.
New bands?
Yeah, that you've got into. Anything you've come across that you quite
I like Nowhere.
Oh,
You know them?
No, I don't. I don't.
No, you don't know her. You don't know Nowhere?
No.
Okay, no, I like them. They're cool. You know, Wolfpack and they look at that.
Yeah.
That's a great record store. See, I miss those days.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a few places like this left. Look, let's go here. You can see that. That's Amoeba Music.
Yes. Very cool.
This is the shit. That's a real record store. Remember the days when you were, you know, waiting outside of the record store for the album you ordered?
Can you remember the first record you bought?
First record I bought was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay, mine was Blondie. Parallel
Blondie?
Lines. Yeah, Blondie was my first
I like
record.
Blondie.
Yeah,
I listened to
Parallel
Blondie
Lines.
yesterday, actually.
And it's cool now that kids are back into buying vinyl again.
Yeah, it's great. My next record's going to be out in vinyl, too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like handmade music. I like human performances. You know, I like to hear personality, you know, on a record. And that's why I like the 70s, you know. You can hear a pinstripe head and how much it's muffled and where they stuck the microphone. And you can hear those, you know, nuances. It makes a huge difference, I think.
And who were your favourite drummers in the 70s?
Hal Blaine.
Okay.
He's on pretty much everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, Russ Kunkel. I mean, all the great, you know, obviously, you know, Gad and the later 70s, and it depends on what style of music, because obviously, you know, it's I have different drummers in different genres of music that I like.
But you also
I like all of it because it's all real.
Yeah.
You know,
and the 70s obviously was an early stage in your playing career as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I started playing in the early 70s.
Yeah.
I started playing in 1971, 2.
Right.
So, where are we going?
Turn right.
Yeah.
Carla, come on, Carla.
I asked and she answered.
So, because I see Hal Blaine's up for a Grammy, he's got a lifetime achievement.
I saw that.
Which is,
exactly.
Although it would have been nice of him to have it 10, 15 years ago, so you would have really appreciated it.
Yeah.
I know also that you liked Phil Gould with Level 42.
Oh, I love Phil Gould.
Yeah.
I mean, he is super hip. He was really slick, I thought. Great feel. I love the open-handed playing, and Phil, love you, man.
Yeah, and of course a friend of both of ours, Mr. Copeland, again.
Oh, yeah, I was the total Copeland geek,
Yeah.
and I still am. He's one of the most unique drummers of all time.
Yeah.
There's nobody who sounds like Stuart, and he was a real pioneer. He had so much personality, and he was so quirky and weird and left field, just unlike anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the way he tuned his drums, you know, the splash cymbals, the octobans, all new stuff. I mean, nobody did that before, you know, and he had all these percussive elements and different timbres and stuff in his kit, and that was just killer. And his playing, the playing itself, you know, how he was influenced from, you know, from Arabic music growing up in Beirut, and mixed that with some reggae and some good old rock and roll, was really new and interesting.
What do you think would be the one song that you would have liked to play on?
What, like a Police song or any
song?
Any song?
Any song. If you could pick, what you only have one song. What's it going to be?
One song. Ah, jeez. Back in Black is a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that surprises
I would
me.
go either Back in Black or something like Moni Moni or like early or Wipeout.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Cool.
Wipeout.
Wipeout. Wow. Yes. Wipeout.
Why not?
What about the artist? Which artist, dead or alive, would you like to work with, or would have worked with?
Okay, well, I would prefer to work with the alive artists,
because you're still hoping
Now,
that opportunity's there.
Yeah, and now, Don't ask me these questions.
This is what this is for. You come and pick me up as an Uber driver. This is it. This is what happens,
Is it
dude.
multiple choice, or do I have to pick just one?
I'll give you some multiple choices.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I'll give you two and you can pick one out of them. Stevie Wonder, Barbra Streisand.
Yes.
Which one?
Both.
No, you can only have one. Multiple
Stevie.
choice normally works out like that. Not I'll make it up and you
No,
pick them all. Stevie Wonder.
I chose multiple ones.
Okay, you can have Stevie Wonder or Barbra Streisand to work with.
Well,
Which one?
Stevie Wonder, of course.
Okay, Stevie Wonder. Okay, you can have Stevie Wonder or Paul McCartney.
You will reach your destination in 1/4 of a mile. Your destination is on the left.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay, Stevie Wonder. Okay, so you can have Stevie Wonder or Quincy Jones.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay, very good. We're getting somewhere. Stevie Wonder, look, pro drums.
Yes.
Woo! Final one. Stevie Wonder or Frank Sinatra.
Stevie Wonder.
So we've worked it out. Why didn't you just start there in the first place? I'd like to work with Stevie
you
Wonder.
could have said, well, sorry, I'm distracted here. I've got a crazy Italian driver next to me.
Oh man.
Here, what's playing right now? Oh yeah, Barry White, man. What am I gonna do with you, Mike?
Barry White. And I loved Barry White.
Listen to it. It's got some balls, man. It's got, a deep freaking groove.
I don't know who played drums on this though. Do you?
Yeah, I don't care, but he played well.
Do you think we've lost this today?
Of course.
Today's music?
Yeah, man, we've lost it. Not me. You've lost it a long time
Oh, I
ago,
always
but-
lost it. I didn't have it, so that's fine.
I
didn't
still got
stop
it, man.
me.
Still in there.
Because, that concert that we did together, the Teenage Cancer concert.
Yes.
I think it was a big shock for a lot of people when you just went up and you played a song.
Oh, really? People don't know I can play a song?
No, we all know you can play a song, but I think it was great that you didn't try and chop it. Some other artists that played that night wanted to just chop
Right.
away, and no, you just
Yeah.
went up there and you played that song. Why did you pick that song? Which was the song you played was
It was
Katie Lane, Johnny Lane.
Johnny Lang song,
yeah. Why?
Because I like the song. It's a groovy song. It's a simple song. It's got a nice crescendo towards the end. It's got a nice build-up. And it's got an interesting groove.
And there's no fills.
Yeah, and playing the drums in a very simple, approachable way is my day job. I've been doing that professionally for more than 30 years.
Yep.
And
I know that. And I knew
you
you
know
then.
that. And this is that, and it has always been my day job. It
Yep.
still is. The crazy drum fireworks is something I also do. Because I enjoy it and I like drums and I like to experiment and push the envelope and go to places that nobody's gone to before. This is my hobby, also my passion. But my job is to play beats and to play time and to play, for songs. And sometimes I still have to have that stigma of the super drummer who can't play time.
Who can't play time?
Yeah, it's like, dude, but I see those comments every once in a while. It's like, yeah, but can he groove? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which always cracks me up. It's like,
Do you
dude,
take any
what are you
notice of
thinking?
it?
Yeah, sometimes I notice it. Yeah.
Do you cry? Once a week? Twice a week?
And not about that, about other things.
Okay, yeah, but you cry about important things. What people think on the
I don't
internet.
cry. It doesn't bother me, but it surprises me.
Yeah. Well,
It
that's
surprises
ignorance.
me.
It's ignorance, though, isn't it?
Nah, it's not ignorance. I think they just don't know any better.
Right.
I
Cool.
think people,
that's ignorance.
they completely misjudge, and I think a lot of people are misled by what's out there, and they're also a little hypocritical, because not many people Google Thomas Lang sideman. They also always Google Thomas Lang drum solo.
Okay.
So they're looking for the wrong things.
Yeah, but
but
my argument with that has always been the same, and that is that you have been a professional drummer, as you said, for 30 years. You don't become a professional drummer for 30 years playing solos. You
No.
become a professional drummer for 30 years because you are a sideman and
Yeah.
a team player.
yeah, absolutely, and I spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never felt like I have to put my ego first, and the drum solos were never, and still aren't, my primary focus or interest in regards to music. I write songs. I've always written songs and produced music, and I like to play time. I learned to play the drums because I wanted to play songs, music. It's still the same way, whenever I record my music, it depends on which genre, because I write for many different types of genres and artists, but all my music is groove-based music,
So
and
have
sometimes
you got anything that we can hear now?
Yeah, I have something probably.
Okay, let's have a listen.
You want to hear some music?
Yeah, I want to have a listen to your
Well,
music.
you know a lot of my music.
I know,
right?
I do, and I want you to put a piece of music on and maybe give us a bit of a background to it.
Okay, I'm going to close this window.
Okay.
I'm going to play you some... Do you want to hear some new music?
Yeah.
I'm working on a new album, by the way.
Cool.
It's coming out this year.
Which is going to be
And-
vinyl?
It's going to be also on vinyl, yes.
Cool.
Media, where are we? See, there's a groove. These are my demo vocals, ignore them for now. But listen to that fat groove, man. I'm working in the gong drum. Let's go. Come on.
This, to me, is very 80s.
Totally.
Almost level 40.
Totally. Yeah. I'm gonna have some real singers sing on it, not myself, but
Why not?
I don't wanna. I have better people than that. But it's all groove-based stuff. I mean, the grooves are really, really interesting. They're very modern and very involved with a lot of independence elements, but they sound simple.
So with this song, where does it start? How
What do you
did you
mean?
start it? Did you start with a hook line? Did you start with the keyboards? Did you start with a drum groove?
I always start with a riff, with either on keyboard or on bass
Okay.
or guitar.
Okay.
So I play around. Usually it's keyboards. I throw some shapes and I get a bit of a vibe, and I look at the scale and go, kind of this is a cool riff within this, chord, and then I either play it on a bass or on the keyboard. I just program a bass riff, some sort of a hooky riff, and then I see what happens. It develops from there. Usually a certain mood of a chord gives me an idea in regards to lyrics, or some sort of a concept for the song, a place to go mentally, and I just throw out some syllables and words, over chords, and go, yeah, that word makes sense with this mood, and then I develop at least 2 or 3 parts that kind of work together,
Okay.
like a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, or something like that, and then I program those out, and sometimes I either sit down right away and play some drums to it, or I program a quick beat if it's late at night or something, I don't feel like playing. And if it's music for somebody else, I keep the beats and everything very simple. If it's for my own stuff, like on these records, or on this new one, or previous records of mine, I get a little more extravagant with the drum parts, and I try to play something that sounds very simple, but has a lot of information in it. Like this. If you listen to a beat like that, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I'll go a little further back. Anyways, but this part, the bass drum is a gong drum,
Oh, really?
and the feet are playing the hi-hats.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.
It sounds like a regular beat, but it's upside down.
Yeah, which is so
things like that.
typical of you. You're such an upside down person.
I like to keep it simple.
So, do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think, got this hook, or go, or be in the gym, or
Yeah,
or-
sometimes.
So there is no system. It just
the muse kisses me in the most random places.
okay. And that's obviously now you've got a studio at home. You can just literally go into the studio, put it down.
Yeah, I've
there
done
and
that for a
then-
long time. I just,
Yep.
if I feel, sometimes I write down certain ideas, or make a note on my phone, or if I happen to be around an instrument or a computer, I'll program a little something. Even when I'm on the road, I do that. I capture ideas, or I just sort of sing something into my phone and record it. And at home, I have sort of phases where I do a lot of writing. Like the last few months, I wrote more than 40 songs.
Okay.
and I recorded about 30 of them
Oh wow.
for this album
Yeah.
that I'm working on
And
right
how many
now.
are you going to use?
Maybe 12,
Okay.
13, something like that. And so I'm whittling it down. But, you know, I don't write, when I write for other artists, for example, or for a certain purpose, you know, for a TV show or commercial or something like that, you know, you write for a purpose and you limit yourself to a certain genre of music and a goal and a certain objective. When I write for myself, I just see what happens, and it becomes very eclectic. I mean, there's some jazzy stuff in there, and there's some, you know, sort of mondo stuff, world music type stuff. There's some really simple pop, and then there's some crazy, weird, progressive stuff. And I collect all these things, I record them all, and I listen back to them and go, which one's gonna work together for an album? And then I decide what kind of album I want to do. Do I want it to be a sort of a heavy record or more of a jazzy record, whatever? I could probably make 3 albums out of these songs that I just wrote. Like, I'll play another one. What else is here? Gold Digger. Like this album that I'm working on right now, I wanted to make it like a progressive pop album.
Okay.
It's weird. They're real poppy songs, but they have a real progressive edge to it. You know, it's like a little bit of avant-garde pop, which is stuff that I've done before. I don't know if you remember. You know, some of my solo albums. And I wanted to have a good sense of humor. You know, part of the reason I like working with Paul Gilbert, for example, is he's got a really charming sense of humor. It's not all that serious, although the playing is incredible and serious. But lyrically, it's kind of a little fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah, a little bit. It's quirky, it's cartoonish in a way. And, you know, that's what I'm going for with this record. It's got some progressive elements where it's getting a little esoteric, but I think the bulk of it is just fun music that's fun to listen to, that's kind of, you know, that's commercial and accessible for non-drummers and, you know, non-musicians, but has a lot of really interesting information for drummers in there. I mean, some of the drum parts are really sort of, I'll play one, hang on, really complex. Humble brag. Yeah, all of these are.
Bit of finger cymbals there.
Yes. It's not played with my fingers.
No, it's one of your...
The foot.
Is it? Of course it is.
Where's the one, Mike?
One.
There it was.
Yeah. Oh, you're changing it. Okay, yeah.
It's at 13/4.
Of course it is. Yeah, because it's danceable.
It is danceable.
13, it'd be easy. Yeah,
It's
nice.
very easy.
Yeah. Should we go into this drum shop?
No. No, of course. We'll go to we're here at Pro Drum right now. There it is. There it is. Okie dokie.
Wow, they think of everything here, Thomas.
Hey, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. It's been a bit. How you been?
Hi, Jerry.
Good.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
Oh, buddy. It's Mike, right?
Yeah, it is.
Mike, awesome, buddy. I've heard a lot about you.
Well, I've heard a lot about this place.
All
and
lies.
it's great. Is it? It's all lies,
It's
is
all
it?
lies.
It's all cool.
That's our slogan, you know, pro drummer lies come true. So there you go. That's what happens. So,
Do you want to do a tour?
Yeah, I do want to do
Yeah,
I
it.
want to see what's happening.
all right.
Okay.
Gary,
Yeah, you can
show
come
us
on
around.
in.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is,
Cool drum head.
Very cool drum head.
yeah.
Everything in here is cool. Literally everything in here is cool.
Yeah, I'll show you the back room first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go into the
You
bowels
might
of
want
Pro
to look at
Drum.
that right there. You come back here. This is kind of our music department.
Holy
we have
God, look at
we have probably 100,000 books in stock, and this is for every author from A to Z. Those are just drum books on this wall coming down.
Wow.
And then we own a publishing company, so we own 250 books that when they're out we have to get them printed and we pay royalties to the authors and
Right.
and it's going good. You got to diversify when you're in business. You got to.
Of course.
So we besides the repairs, the rental, the publishing company, then your regular sales out front. So that's what keeps us alive, and
Of course.
business is great.
Now, in the UK, a lot of shops have stopped doing drum books.
Yeah, everybody's told you got to go, online and have them download. But last year we sold more books than we ever have.
Okay.
So people still want to touch it and feel it.
Yeah,
So
totally.
It's
It's like records.
yeah, exactly.
In fact, they got
Wow.
a Wessels book there. Look, I can see that straight away.
Look at that, bling.
Ah, I saw him put that there just a minute
Yeah,
ago.
you better blow the dust
He
off
ran
it.
around the back.
Boom! It took me only 10 seconds to
Hang
find
on.
it.
Oh, you got the
It's
John Wonder
really
there.
well organized. Wow!
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, I
now
love
this
it.
is this
I
is the
love it.
real deal here.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Do you actually? I mean, how much do you dig around like old
Well,
stuff for parts?
a lot of drummers are broke and they need their pedal fixed for that gig.
Right.
Sorry, when you say a lot of drummers, you know some that aren't then, do you? I was going to say, you got to point them over.
So Thomas, I just grabbed those parts from there. I mean, they're all interchangeable because everybody's using the metric system on all that stuff nowadays. Back in the old days, it was a little different.
One of my first bass drum pedals up there.
But yeah,
So now everything's metric.
pretty much
Really?
all metric except for DW, I think.
Well,
Not the only
right.
one.
Yeah, except for those couple screws on the 5,000 pedal.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
yeah.
how much American.
Wow.
So quick fix, boom, steal it $10, and the guy's on his way to his $50 gig.
Great.
You know.
That's my
Way
old
to
bass
go.
drum pedal.
See,
right there,
that's-
Thomas. I had that bass drum pedal. That pearl
This one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's James Gatson. That's the old 810 they call that. Pearl 810.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
It's still today. It's
Boom.
great.
I don't know why though. I could never play like James Gadsden. With it.
You gotta get that hair, that's why.
Well, I've never had the hair, unfortunately.
Well, Jimmy, I
And if
love
I knew
Jimmy.
that was the secret, I would have gone and paid for the hair.
Yeah, then I guess we'll show you the office, the headquarters
Oh, yeah.
here. Come on in.
But this is where the magic happens, isn't
Yeah,
it?
oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, our stepfather who started this whole business, he put these pictures up. He passed away within a month of Buddy Rich. They used to talk to each other in the hospital.
Wow.
So it was kind of, I remember listening to conversations with them. It was pretty amazing, because they were both in different hospitals at the time. So he put them all. We just kind of left them all up there, and they were just.
You gotta.
Yeah, they're just kind of
History.
unique and fun, and we haven't changed anything, and.
This is great.
That was just a couple of highlights here because this was actually the opening day, June 1st, 1959, when we opened. Oh wow! You still use these same write-up machines right there, and look how blank everything was.
Right, yeah.
It's right, right there, and this is kind of maybe a year later. Things have changed back then.
Wow.
One of our first clinics was Joe Morello. This is this one right here,
Jeez.
and this one was great because oh man, my mind is shot. Tony Williams, he was recording up the street with Miles Davis with Victor Feldman
Right.
at Capitol Records. He's 17 years old, and Victor goes, "Hey, they're doing a Joe Morello clinic at the drum shop."
Wow.
So they came down. We got him on stage, and this is like it's got to be 64, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's Remo Belli right here,
Oh yeah.
and then Ray Baduke,
Oh yeah.
and let's see who else. Yeah, there's a
Wow.
Chico Guerrero, and Bill Douglas, who taught Karen Carpenter some
Right.
lessons, and then the most expensive clinic we ever did was 1977.
Louis.
We had Louis Bellson,
Yeah.
we had Jeff Picaro,
Wow.
and Johnny Guerin,
Oh,
all
my
three of their bands,
Wow.
and
With full band.
full bands,
Jeez.
each one of them.
And it's so sad that
Yeah,
all these
terrible,
pictures, they're
terrible.
not around anymore.
Yeah, this is me in 1977. This was the giveaway. We gave away all the drum sets, and besides that, all the congas and cymbals. And here's Karen Carpenter. She actually came on stage and was helping giving away the gifts.
Oh wow.
Was
So
that?
you don't look very happy here. Is that because you're giving it away?
Yeah, exactly. You're not the first one to say that.
We're giving this away.
This was all done now. It was the Nickelodeon Theater around the corner.
Right, yeah.
It was called the Longhorn back then, but. Another Saturday afternoon, 1,000 people showed up. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was fantastic. So
How
no
Bloom
complaints
strikes
there.
again. His famous
Oh
stuff.
yeah, he's what a great guy. I think he bought us lunch and sends us a little note.
Yeah, he
so
did.
sends
I
it
went
down.
up to the desert a couple of years ago and did a load of filming.
Oh good, yeah,
And
he's
he did
got
that.
some
So
stories.
He bought me some lunch, and we were just discussing him because obviously now they're giving him a lifetime achievement.
Yeah,
Grammy.
oh that's right, that's right.
Yeah, which is slightly pity because you wish they'd have done that
a long time
10
ago.
years ago
Yeah.
when you would have enjoyed it. You know. Oh, there he is
Here's
with the
that
car.
one. Yeah, there's the car.
Yeah, there's the car. Look at
76.
that. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that car sold 5 years ago for $1.5 million.
Really?
Of course, I think it was his third wife got that one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know, and it's funny if you look at his, because he still has that 90 or 91 Rolls Royce.
Right.
He pulled into here 6 months ago with it to buy cases.
Right.
And we're like, what are you going on the road?
Exactly.
He's like, no, I want some cases. Like, great. So on his license plate it says Take Two on his.
Right.
And I'm like, going, what's with
Well,
Take
take
Two?
one.
He goes, my wife took one. This is Take Two. So it's great. It's awesome. So then Chad and I guess the photographer, they weren't getting along that well, I guess. And the photographer goes, well, don't just stand there, do something.
Right.
So Chad, wham! And the guy goes, hey, that wasn't our drum, that was Pro Drums. He goes, oh, give me a pin, I know those guys. And that's how it came back from the original. So, crazy.
Looks like a Trixon.
Yeah, it does.
It's all these.
Look at that case. That's cool.
This is what makes your shop unique. It is. This is what gets people into a drum shop.
Yeah.
You know, because
yeah.
this you can buy
Yeah,
anywhere.
Exactly.
That you're not going to see.
No.
You know, it's
Yeah.
the museum, which is why we came into drum shops when we
Yeah,
were kids.
we made all of Elvin's cases. We would ship them to New York, or when he was in town, you know, the Jazz Bakery or whatever. We would swap out the cases. So that was the last case. He gave us that one, and we made him a new one. It was going to Japan. It was a little bit smaller than that, and so then we just threw it up there, and it's been up there ever since. You know, so it's
Do you ever check there's nothing in the back window?
might be an old liquor bottle.
Yeah.
Sandwiches in there.
But this set is unique right here. This one right here was the very first one we sold in June 1st, opening day. That gentleman bought that drum set.
And you bought it back?
Yeah, he's 85. He can't play anymore, and he brought it in. We're like, oh my God. And at the time, he helped our dad paint the store for the opening day, and then he really wanted that set. He couldn't afford it all, so he gave my dad $100. And my dad says, pay me when you can. So, and then he paid it off, of course, and he had it all ever since. And then when we bought it back from him, we were like, okay, how about we just give you $100 and we'll pay you when we can? He goes, no, I want COD, I want cash now.
Oh, really?
Okay, there you go. So everybody has the first dollar. We got the first drum set we ever sold.
Is that the original hoop?
Yeah, original. That's
Is it?
all
With the inlay?
1959. Everything's legit.
So did you do it back up again, or did it come back?
No,
like
that's
that?
exactly how it was. We didn't do anything to it. That's the chrome over brass transition badge. It's all a transition badge back then in 1959, because Ludwig just reacquired his company back. And it's a great thing about it. They're all dated from the Ludwig factory, May 19th, 1959, which means they got here in 2 weeks for opening day.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a pretty crazy set.
Look at that cymbal
Yeah,
stand.
yeah.
And this one.
Bongos.
Oh, yeah, that's the Gene Krupa stand. That one.
That
We
cymbal
got
stand
that.
here.
We got that from
yeah.
a good friend of Gene Krupa's. That's the one you see in all those old pictures.
Yeah, look
Is
at
that crazy
That
shit?
is awesome. See, you young drummers now, you don't know, you've got it so easy. Those guys really had to work with that gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Wow,
That's beautiful, kid.
it is.
Yeah, of course that's the last Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
That's the last.
I saw Buddy in Chichester. He signed a picture for me, and the bass drum was slipping in the first half, and so he got his drum tech to come through and nail
Yeah.
the
Do it live.
hoop to the stage. We never saw it going out.
That was his last kit?
That was the last set he ever played. That's the last gig he played that set at. Oh wow. That was the Mildred Tommy Dorsey tribute at the Palladium Theater.
Oh, right.
That was
Okay.
that was in 1986.
Oh, wow. About a year before
Yeah,
he
the year
died.
before he died.
Yeah.
And,
How did
yeah,
you
we
come
s-
across that kit then, Jay?
Actually, that kit, it's my brother's set, and he's got 3 more tom-toms in the back, so it was kind of a bigger rock set.
Okay.
And he changed out the Ludwig throw-off on the Slingerland kit in the 70s because the Slingerland double holder was terrible. It was awful. So he switched it out back then, and he added the extra toms. Then when Buddy was in town, needed a kit, it was for the Carson show. We were like, well, hell, we took it out of the back. We just take off the other toms. We got it.
Right.
So he used it, and we just put it up there ever since.
With that same snare?
That snare drum was my brother made it custom. Yeah, you should tell the story about the Irv Kotler snare drum.
He wanted me to fiberglass the inside of a shell. So that,
Fiberglass the inside.
yeah, the inside, which basically is not fiberglass, but resin. I resined
Right,
it is
okay.
what I did. And I built that for Irv. He was going with Frank, I guess, for like a little short month tour or whatever it was. So we took it with him, brought it back. He goes, Stan, it's just too dead.
Oh, really?
Too dead. I don't like it. I said, well, okay, Irv, no problem. That's fine by me. So Buddy, he loved the five fiberglass.
Yeah.
snare
Right,
drum.
sure.
That was it was that and a Rogers bass drum pedal. It was the only thing he always be bitching about. He had to have that. That was his main thing.
Right.
So I put that. I think the Carson show was one of the first times I brought the set over for him, and I put that. It was only, I didn't have a 5 snare drum
Right.
for him that day because he'd call up when he didn't have his band or his stuff with him and say, "Hey, bring drums over here, this or that." And so I put that with him, and he loved it.
Right.
So screw her.
Yeah. Irv he was very tactful. He came in, he goes, stand the snare drum. Awful, just awful.
Not subtle. I love her. He used to give us tickets to the Dodgers all
I know.
the time,
Yeah.
Frank seats.
Oh yeah, we used to
Right.
kiss his
Super
ass.
great time with him all the time, but he didn't dig that snare drum. So, but Buddy did.
Yeah.
What the hell? Who knows?
Yeah, and Buddy got into a lot of trouble with pictures with that vibe snare drum as well, didn't he? Because everyone was, they were thinking...
With this snare drum?
Not that particular,
Oh, the
but any
fires.
vibe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
whenever, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, as a kid, I worked at Henry's Drum Store on Wardour Street, and that picture there was a big picture of Buddy's kit on the wall, obviously the Ludwig, and there was always like, dude, what's that snare drum?
Oh yeah, all the
What's
fives.
that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. He was always a nice man to me.
Yeah.
Always never
And
trouble.
me.
Yeah,
You know,
same thing.
I never-
asked him how to hold a drumstick either.
No.
You know, you don't ask him the silly questions.
No.
There was Ed Shaughnessy told us a story. Is it like 5 years ago about one of the nights Buddy was on the show, and so they called us up. They needed 2 sets, so Bob set him up, sent the kid over with a set for Buddy. So Buddy's trying to. There was nobody there to put the drum set together that knew. So Buddy's trying to put the drum set together, and he's over there cussing Bob or a dad and the pro drum shop. Look at the floor tom legs are too short. How, you can't play this. What is wrong with those guys? They should take the pro out of pro and just call it bullshit. and then so Ed comes over and goes, Buddy, the floor tom's upside down.
Yeah,
That's why you had it. So you had the brackets.
I knew you were going to say.
You had the brackets like that. I was like, oh my god. So Ed told us that story. It was awesome. Good.
That's beautiful.
Funny
too.
time.
Well, this
Yeah.
one's you won though. That's what you need.
Oh, the melted one.
Yeah, you need the melted one. You know, I think it's got a better name than that, but you know.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
They were made in Germany, right?
Yeah,
Jackson?
in the 50s that one was, and yeah, it's kind of cool because they put a piece of wood that goes this way and divides the drum.
two
Yeah,
pedals.
it's in a flat bottom, so you slide the pedal or extra tom, or you just want a smaller bass drum, bebop, you would use that. And
Does it actually work? Do you get 2
yeah,
pitches?
very little,
Yeah.
but some models had a different tone control on both sides, so you can really deaden one side.
Okay.
And it would definitely do it.
A lot of this sort of stuff sort of comes back round again, doesn't it? I guess if
Yeah.
you want to get rid of it or whatever, you're going to be the guy that they give them a call.
Yeah, yeah, oh
you know.
yeah. Anytime I'd buy it back from them. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all.
That's
fine.
very cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
all-
classic finish too.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that was that Pearl reference. You kind of pick the color. It's that, and the one they build it in the United
Love the
States
wrap.
for about 6 weeks, and yeah, it's kind of a root beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then our snare drums are over here. We kind of keep tucked away right here. So we got the sides up on top, and
The old jelly
That's-
bean up there.
yeah, that's actually Jack Iron's drum set. The Chili
Okay,
Peppers.
yeah,
They did
yeah.
their 3rd record with that kit right there.
The Ludwig?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
It was the record, the Uplift Mofo Party Planning,
Right,
whatever. Yeah. They did the recording with it and toured with it. And Jack brought it in about 10, 12 years ago. And originally he ordered that set from us in the 70s. He used to live around the corner.
Right.
His dad came in and yeah, and then they ordered sizes because it was an 18 floor.
Yeah, it's very unusual,
With
those-
those little concert toms. Yeah, it was ahead of his time there. Matching snare and
Great.
yeah, so.
That looks amazing. That kid.
Yeah. So we just threw it up there, and I'm surprised they didn't thrash it. You know,
Yeah.
it's in good shape
Wow.
still. So, kind of a little collector's piece.
Look at
The
that.
old lady down here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is very cool. It may have taken me all these years to get here, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
That's a very cool Elvis Costello. That's Pete signed that. Look up there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate you
guys are
spending
great.
the time.
And you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the tour.
I love the
Sweet.
shop.
Awesome.
Come on,
right,
come on, Mr.
okay.
Lane, get out of here.
Yeah, get out.
Come on,
Don't
Uber
come back.
driver. Come on, Uber driver. I'll leave your mic here. Thanks, Joe.
Okay. Well,
Hey, little security.
So I've had some questions come in. that I think I need to ask.
Okay.
The first question I have was, what do you look for in a drum tech?
The drum tech.
Yeah.
Well, I look for, of course, competence in all aspects of gear and setting up drums. Being able to tune, set up correctly, and set it up consistently. Get angles and everything right. Memory lock, marker, the usual drum tech stuff. I expect him to be, a pro drum tech. Somebody who's done this before, has experience, knows how to fix things. I need somebody who's super attentive during the show. So in case something goes wrong, somebody can, he can help and he can catch that. There's a lot of drum techs that I've experienced in the past who are literally asleep, somewhere in a corner on stage, while you're struggling with things falling off your kit. So somebody who's attentive during the show, somebody who knows his stuff in regards to drums, can fix things. Somebody who's great company, who's having a great time, happy to be on the road, and who's just fun to hang out with, good company, good person, because you spend a lot of time with your tech on the road, and it needs to be somebody you want to hang out with a lot of times. So that.
Okay, cool. So I've got a question.
Yes.
So obviously the boys now, I remember them being born.
Yes.
We've known each other a long
Your girls were babysitting
time.
them.
Yes, my girls were babysitting them.
That's right.
Do you think that is the move, because it was a big move for you as a family to come here? Obviously Elizabeth was originally, your wife was originally from the States, but do you think it's everything that you hoped it was, and do you think it took you time to get established as a local musician, not the clinician, because your name was already out there, but as a local musician?
Yeah, I mean, of course, and to be honest, I haven't really made an effort to establish myself here actively. I'm not a hustler. I never was, and don't think I ever will be. And I work all over the world all the time, so it's not a necessity, and I enjoy working internationally. So I don't really feel the need to do all that much in town. I try to get connected with everybody in town. Since it's not my hometown, I don't feel, no matter how long I live here, it's not entirely, home to me.
Where do you feel is home?
Yeah, Austria.
Austria,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you were quite comfortable in London, weren't you?
Yeah,
that
and I was there for a long time.
pre-wife
I've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
But I since I've done this before, I've lived in a place for 15 years and then moved somewhere else, and then I've done it several times. So this is another phase and station in my life, and it's great, and I enjoy it. But again, like you say, my work is global and international, and I do enjoy that aspect of it. And I do, I have obviously established myself to a certain degree here also in LA, but I'm not hustling for, club gigs and studio work in town. I mean, I work, a lot in my own studio, and of course also in other studios in town, simply by default, because after, a few years you meet people, you get in touch with people, and you start to collaborate or get hired for work and so on, and it just happens. But I've never been sort of the active hustler to try to get gigs.
I mean, like I said, we go back a long way, and I would say that you're probably one of the most together drummers that I know, as in you don't come over as ever losing any confidence. When you've built the studio in the house, which you built, by the way, yourself, from the top upwards. You play all these instruments. You're always keeping yourself busy.
Yeah.
For younger people, or for younger Thomas Lane, what advice would you give that person?
Do what I do. Which is
You
everything.
wouldn't change anything, as into a young Thomas coming through?
Well, I worked very hard.
I know
and
you
I still
did, yeah.
do. So that is my advice. I work my ass off all the time, and I still do. And I think if you put in, the right amount of passion, diligence, and have the determination and the work ethic and the sheer, power to muscle through difficult times,
Which you've had.
which of course, we all have had,
And did you think that, sorry to jump in there, because I think it's a very important issue now with the younger generation coming through, and in the UK we've got, as they have everywhere, a big issue with mental health, and
Right.
and I don't think a lot of people in the arts realise that there are difficult times.
Right.
Did you doubt yourself in those difficult times?
I don't doubt myself, no. But I sometimes you need to adjust to the new paradigm and new situations very quickly, and it's difficult to snap out of your old ways, and you have to slap yourself around a little bit, and be a little tough on yourself. I don't doubt myself. I mean, I'm in it because I love it, and it's a passion, and it's for fulfilling for me, no matter what the circumstances. I'm not in it for fame or money. And it's yes, it does happen as a side effect, but I'm in it
Well,
because
the
I love
fame
it.
does, the money doesn't, but the
Exactly,
fame does.
fame does. But and that's why I do it, no matter what. And even if there weren't a music scene anymore at all, I'd still do this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Do you think though that your dad, he was an athlete,
Yeah.
and a very, very good athlete, a professional athlete in Austria. And for that, you need a lot of determination, and you need a lot of mental strength. Do you think that rubbed off on you? And because your
sure.
family, your sister's successful, it's been. Do you think that helped in that upbringing?
Of course. We grew up in this environment. My father, after he was an athlete as a younger man, and then became an entrepreneur and was always independent. He never had a boss. He was his own boss and had companies. And I grew up in that environment that, in order to work, if you're not employed, you have to employ yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're self-employed, you have to create work for yourself, no matter whether the phone rings or not. I was never passive, ever. And I still am not. I can't sit around and do nothing or play a video game. I can't. It's impossible. I have to, and it's not, stressful for me. I enjoy this.
Yeah.
I create stuff every single day. Yeah. If there's no work, I will create work for myself, and not just to occupy myself and kill time, but to get paid. I have that sort of business savvy for sure from my father, and being exposed to his work ethic, and being constantly reminded by watching him that you have to get off your ass and do something if you want to achieve something. And if there's nothing happening, and you're self-employed, and many people depend on you, your own employees, for example, then there's quite a bit of pressure, and you better do something to keep the ball rolling. So
yeah, well, like I said, it's been a very fun day. Although we do have a lot of banter together, I like this last part of seriousness. Thank you very much.
Chin chin. Cheers.
I
Thank
always
you, Mike.
say a buddy is someone that's there when you need them, and you've always been that. So thank you very much.
And you, thank you, Mike.
And same time, same place, next year.
Sounds good.
See you later.
Chin chin.